First thing in the morning, clearing off my bed, getting it made, is the first way that I honor rest, the rest that will come at the end of the day in form of a good sleep. When my bed is made, whenever I walk in my room, I feel like my mind is more clear. I feel like my bedroom is more relaxing looking because that chaos that comes with the blankets all in a pile and in a mess becomes kind of almost a metaphor in my mind where rest looks difficult. As a mom of 7, Grammy to 4, I have to admit rest has never come easy for me. But as I'm growing older, I'm beginning to realize more and more how much rest actually fuels my work. I have just a little bit of laundry. And here's another one. But I did not fold laundry all weekend. I actually took some time off. On this past Saturday morning, I woke up determined to have a day, quote, off. With selling our home here in Maine and buying a home 4 hours away in Vermont, I have lost a lot of sleep because of the, all that is involved in trying to move that far away, trying to find a house, trying to sell a house, all of the things. I'm sure you can understand. And so I woke up and I thought, okay, what can I do to make this a restful day? To be perfectly honest, it just doesn't come easy to me. I have had requested to please make a video that shows self-care, and I've never really done it because I don't spend a lot of time in self-care. I spent a few minutes in the morning just kind of thinking about, okay, what do I actually enjoy? And I have to say, creating is something I enjoy very much. It's why I do YouTube, because I love to create videos. And I thought, okay, what can I do during this day, even if it's work and play, work and rest? What can I do that would be enjoyable to me where I can create? Well, I had these flowers from when we showed the house. I mean, they're a couple weeks old now because I've had our buyer for about 2 weeks and I've been frantically looking for a place in Vermont. I decided to first go through the bouquets that I had, pick out anything that was still good, and get rid of anything that was either honestly moldy, nasty, or dead. So I'm trimming off any I'm trimming off any leaves. I'm trimming off the bottoms because that's where the rot had happened. You can see how nasty that water is. And I am repotting them and kind of making something out of something I had already purchased, which does give me a great deal of satisfaction. The goal for my weekend was to have rest interrupted by work instead of work interrupted by rest. Does that make sense? When it's work interrupted by rest, there's not a whole lot of rest time. When it's rest interrupted by work, then I'm just doing what has to be done throughout the day instead of coming up with more and more work tasks. One of the things I did really want to do, at least throughout the weekend, I did want to still do my 5-minute declutter. That actually does bring me a whole lot of satisfaction. And because it's only 5 minutes, it doesn't feel overwhelming. It's not like heading down into my basement to do a full-on hour declutter. I am 60 years old, and as we get older, our bodies just don't bounce back from exertion as quickly as they used to. Muscles and joints and tissues need more downtime to repair. I, even in my 40s, blew my back out, and I knew at the time I was working way too hard. I was doing way more than I could do. It was a time when my dad had cancer and we had people coming up to visit him, and I honestly was living under a lot of stress. I was homeschooling my kids. There was just a lot going on, and I do really feel like I caused that damage in my back. And even when I blew my knee, it was a time when I was going to be traveling and I wasn't taking time to rest because I wanted to get ahead with videos. And then I go to the airport and out goes my knee and down I go onto the ground. So quality rest replenishes our energy and it reduces inflammation and can help prevent injuries. I could have prevented those injuries, I bet, making it possible to keep working and moving effectively. So it's hard to take time from work to rest. And I'm going to be honest, I am the worst at that. But to keep moving and working, we actually have to rest. It's not something we get to do. Although if we get to do it, we're blessed. It's something we actually need to do, and it needs to come up way higher on our to-do list. I did do a little bit of research on rest, and I came up with the fact that sleep and intentional rest helps consolidate memory, boost our focus, and support problem solving. My goodness, as we age, do we not need as much help as possible with all of those things? Honestly, memory, boosting focus, problem solving. I used to take very expensive supplements just for the boosting focus part of it, and I can't afford to do that anymore. But just knowing that I can do the same thing by taking breaks and having rest is really actually very encouraging. The brain's processing speed naturally slows a bit with age, so rest acts like sharpening the saw, keeping the mind agile, preventing burnout. And I remember when my mother was struggling through dementia, that there'd be times when she completely lost focus and maybe even a bit of reality. Honestly, she lost reality. I mean, just hate to say it, it just sounds so heartbreaking. But if we could have her lay down for a bit and take a nap, when she would wake up, she would be right back, sharp as a tack. Over the years of doing YouTube, I have heard in the comments section at various times women calling themselves lazy. And I think we have kind of idolized activity, busyness, productivity. Nobody is looking up videos on how to have a morning that starts at 10 a.m., right? It's always my 5 a.m. morning routine, my 4 a.m. morning routine, and watching someone go through certain paces that honestly we would never find possible in our own life, and it serves to just make us feel worse about ourselves. It acts as a bit of a bully when we're watching productivity where someone is up at 5 a.m., they're off to the gym by 5:30, they're drinking all these supplements, they're just ruling the world and conquering the world at 5 a.m. in the morning. And it's one thing to be up, honestly, I'm up early at 5 a.m. I'm certainly not at the gym. And I'm not knocking the gym. I think it's great. I might even end up there someday myself. All I'm saying is we have to be careful what we're filling our minds with, because it is convincing us that rest means we're lazy, and we are looking for ways and motivation so that we can do and do and do and do and do all day long. How do I know? Because that's me. I can remember when I first started making cleaning videos, the thing I really struggled a lot with is I was watching other channels and the things they were getting done, and it was like, oh my goodness, it would take me 2 weeks to get that much done, and I wouldn't have a video up but twice a month. And I just felt like such a failure. And it's taken me a long time, and I'm still in process of finding my lane and being in my lane and being comfortable with that, and not letting perfectly well-intentioned media bully me. Did you know that rest helps with emotional regulation? It helps balance our stress hormones. Prolonged stress can have a great impact on health with our heart, our immune system, and our mood. It resets our nervous system. We're more patient, we're more creative, and more resilient in our work. I've often said to myself and to others that I really want to be a sweet old lady. I do not want to be a grumpy old person, right? I don't want to be, I shouldn't even say old, but I don't want to be a grumpy elderly person. But when you work yourself to death and you're not listening to your body and you're not giving yourself restorative activities to do and times where you're just laying and being in your own thoughts, you're actually creating a person who's not going to be a sweet elderly person, because your nervous system is on alert and there's no way to be patient and there's no way to be resilient. And creative is fun. It's fun to be creative, and it's hard to be creative when we don't get the rest we need. Also, hormonal and immune support. Deep sleep is when the body produces growth hormone, which aids in repair. So even though we're certainly not having any growth spurts, we definitely need repair work. So rest strengthens our immunity. It gives our body a chance to repair, and it gives us sustaining energy. So this is diamond painting. Our friend in the comments, Jeanette, got me into diamond painting. And I have found it's a very inexpensive little hobby. It's a great one for when the family is watching TV at night. Maybe you're not so into television, or you like to listen to it, but you don't necessarily, you like to have something else in your hands to do while you're watching TV. I have found it takes very little concentration to do diamond painting. I get these. I think this one was like $5.99 on Amazon. The kits come with every single thing you need. You do not need another thing. And I have found it to be very restful and restorative, and a great way to kind of relax and settle down at the end of a day. Now, in this case, I'm doing it earlier in the day. And because after I did the flowers, I was kind of thinking, honestly, this was hard, guys. I'm like, okay, what else do I like to do? I'm kind of like making myself, what else can you do to be restful? And I thought, okay, you got that new diamond painting. Honestly, I have another diamond painting, Portland headlight. I can't find it. I don't know what I did with it. But I think showing my house and stuff, I've put things kind of hither and yon, and it'll be like Christmas whenever I find it, and I can just finish it up. But I was like, I'm not going to, spend a ton of time looking. I am just going to move on with the day and do the project I have. I was watching a video today, and it happened to be about how to do YouTube, and it was a man named Sean Cannell, and he said, tired eyes rarely see a bright future. And I thought, oh my goodness, is that ever wisdom? I'm spending some time chatting with Yvonne. We're watching Reba, and I'm doing my diamond painting. So we watched a whole episode, and then I felt refreshed, and I could continue on with my day. I had thought about doing some baking. I do like to do baking, and I probably will be doing that soon. My husband was actually gone, dropping my daughter off at work, and then he was getting us a new air conditioner. It was like the last day of heat, and then we did have relief coming, but I knew we probably will get some more hot weather. And I asked him if he would please go get this air conditioner I found at Ocean State Job Lots that was on sale. So he's going to do that. And I didn't really want to heat up the kitchen, but I did do a couple little things to do a little bit of meal prep. Yvonne and I love to put hard-boiled eggs in our salad, so I thought I would get some eggs going. We had recently got a new grocery order, so we had a couple dozen eggs. We definitely go through, I would say, probably 3 dozen eggs every single week. So I'm getting that going. While I was waiting for the eggs, I thought maybe I'll wipe down the island. I wipe down our island multiple times a day because I have cats, enough said. And so while I'm wiping down the island, let me just tell you that when you rest, you have more perspective and you have a greater sense of purpose. It creates space for reflection. So that becomes more meaningful with age because we need time to step back. We need time to reassess priorities and to know where to point the energy that's a bit more limited than it used to be, and how to approach our work with wisdom instead of just urgency. I'm also getting some coleslaw done. We love these coleslaw packets. I thought it would be a good thing to just have in the refrigerator over the weekend. And after this, I'm going to go sit on the deck. I'm going to spend 20 minutes getting some or at least 20 minutes. I didn't actually time it. Honestly, we're trying to rest. I would be more the type to time it. But I want to get some time out in the sun getting some vitamin D. It's great to have a 5-minute declutter. And you're going to see my 5-minute declutter near the end of this video. It's great to have routines, cleaning routines in our home because it does help us to be more efficient. But let's use the efficiency to give ourselves more time to get the rest and restoration that our whole body, including our brains, need. My husband is back and he has the air conditioner and he's going to install it. Thankfully, it's just easy. Pop out the old one and pop in the new one. So while he's doing that, I'm going to take care of the dishes in the kitchen. So like I said, I'm trying to make it a restful day and interrupt my rest with work rather than making it a work day, which I interrupt with rest. So I think that is hopefully going to be my new pattern, at least one day a week. Possibly Saturdays, but maybe not. You know, I feel like as long as I'm picking a day a week, it doesn't necessarily have to be a Saturday. It could be any day that I can find to just take some time to myself and do some self-care. I even was thinking about, you know, taking a midweek day and just disappearing and, you know, doing some window shopping, walking on a beach, maybe take myself to a movie. I actually like to do things by myself. I discovered that on accident. I would have never thought it. In fact, I also love to travel by myself. I find it very relaxing and very fun. So the dishes are never much of a burden. It's just a matter of getting them done. So I emptied the dishwasher and then I filled it up with all the dishes that have been accumulating, because this is definitely not morning, and getting that run. And I like to have it run so that it is all ready for when supper time comes. And then I'm shopping my own house. I don't get this done on this day, but I am craving fall decor, and you might know I decluttered my decor, and that's okay. I'm diving into my storm box, finding some candles, battery powered. I know I shouldn't store them. Don't do what I do, okay? Don't be like me. I was inspired by a walk that my husband and I took, and I saw some smaller pine cones than what I normally see. So I went back down the street and got the pine cones. So I don't make my little arrangement today, but it is coming up in the next video. You'll see I'm taking pine cones and I'm taking some candles, and I'm going to make myself a little fall centerpiece from my sideboard hutch. I can't wait. It's going to be nice. What'd you get?
Okay guys, I got a banana split, which is ginormous, with coconut, ice cream, strawberry, chocolate, and then just whipped cream, strawberries, cherries, and I don't know what these are, but I'm guessing it's nuts or something.
Yeah, and then pineapple.
Oh yeah, and then pineapple. I thought
chocolate,
that was banana. Pineapple, and then hot fudge on it.
And strawberry.
Yep.
And then where's the banana?
I think it's underneath. Oh yeah, it's right here. They have little banana slits. Guys, I'm just not used to this because we used to get like the
in a long one. Yeah, I've never seen it in a bowl like that.
I can't. I'm so spoiled. So yeah. That's not for busting.
We do hard serve here. I don't know about where you live, but this is a mocha chip and chocolate with an ice cream cone on top that I will crumble in and mix in.
Normal.
I asked for something normal. What'd you get? Coffee. Sugar-free coffee ice cream?
Mm-hmm.
You're so well behaved. How was it?
Good. There's nobody in line. I told them sugar-free, but there's no way this is sugar-free. You gotta taste this.
Maybe they said no added sugar.
They said no sugar.
Right. Phenylalanine. actually cool and breezy. I have my windows open, so much so that I was kind of cold, but I am not shutting the windows. It just feels so very good. And so I just put my bathrobe on and it feels great. I am just throwing Yvonne's laundry and Jabari's in a basket, and she always takes care of that herself. All right, I have big news. My big news is we are under contract with a condo, a townhouse condo in Vermont. Yay! It's 7 minutes from my son's house, 7-minute drive, 5 minutes from the grocery store, 20 minutes from Burlington, 20 minutes from Target, 20-ish minutes from church. I could not be more excited. So here is the prayer request, you guys. The prayer request is, so I had to have a buyer here that was under contract in order to be under contract there. So before I could even look, I had to be under contract here. Then this gets better. This just keeps getting better. So then I could look. Now, so I got a buyer here, got a closing date here of September 26th. And then now the race began to find a home there, which inventory there is low, especially for what I'm looking for, because I need multiple bedrooms. Obviously at a certain price point. We had made an offer on one house and they accepted another offer. This was a much larger house. It was much more expensive than what we ended up buying. It was like the top of our range. So we found this townhouse condo. I have not seen it in person. My daughter-in-law went and with my realtor and they FaceTimed us in. So we saw it over FaceTime, but I know she, like, in the house that we put the offer on, like my daughter-in-law even showed me, like, look at these doorknobs on the kitchen cabinets. Even though the cabinets look great, you can see the paint is worn off around the doorknobs. Like she's very detailed, and I knew if there was anything that she would totally catch it, smells, anything like that. So we've kind of had this condo on the back burner. Hadn't really, we hadn't made an offer on it, obviously. So then just as we're looking, it's like, I'm not finding anything. And, especially location. And I keep saying, I'm not looking for a dream house, I'm looking for a dream life. So this condo, it's like 2 townhouses together. The people who live on the other side have been living there for years and own it. They're not renting. The road has a sidewalk. I've never had a sidewalk. It's 0.2 of a mile from my granddaughter's preschool, which is also a huge benefit to me. I want to be where they can drop by. They can drop the kids by if I'm babysitting. I can drop by their house. Yvonne can drop by their house with her baby. We can meet at the park. That's the life I wanted. I didn't want a life where I had to, if I'm going to move and uproot from where I've lived for 60 years, I didn't want to drive an hour to their house. I didn't want to drive a half an hour to their house. I wanted it to be like we live close enough to give each other rides, to be there for each other when we need help, when we need help, when they need help, to drop the kids, all those things. Oh, could the kids come by this afternoon and we're going to decorate pumpkins, just all that stuff is what I wanted. So, is this place perfect? No. It feels like House Hunters. Do you ever watch House Hunters? Okay, but first, before I tell you the imperfections, I'll tell you the perfections too. Obviously location, big perfection. Sidewalk, I have never lived on a road with a sidewalk in 60 years, so that's going to be exciting. Just to be able to get out and walk. It's flat. The road going to the grocery store is flat. The road to the highway that goes to church is flat. No big curves, no big hills. Although I wonder about the road to the church. Could have some curves getting to the highway. Not sure about that, but I do know definitely getting to the grocery store, the pediatrician 5 minutes away, the vet 5 minutes away, restaurants 5 minutes away, a bagel shop I can walk to that has lattes, that I can go get coffee, I can do editing. The price point is amazing. So, funny thing is, I told my realtor that hi Carolyn, if you're on here, that we wanted to put down an offer. So she did a verbal offer first, and they countered. So they do the verbal offer. We waited like a full day, and they countered. And at the time, I was told there was a possibility of another offer out there. And I thought, this thing has sat for 50 days, and now they're gonna have another offer. I mean, maybe they had offers, I don't know. So it's like, okay, let's hurry up and wait. So we only waited 24 hours, but it felt like days. Part of the reason it felt like days is that night I could not sleep. Because one of the negatives of this house is it is a 3-bedroom with an unfinished basement. I mean, it's cemented, and on some of the walls there's insulation and studs. So you can see somebody was planning to redo that basement. We will have to do the basement because that will become a bedroom. So that's a thing. We're contacting someone today to talk about that, what that would mean, what it would cost, that kind of thing. So that is a big deal. Plus, it's obviously a big rectangle, and then there's like an alcove. And so in the big rectangle, here's the stairs, here's the washer dryer hookup, here's the furnace. I don't want to have to walk through somebody's bedroom to do laundry, because I think that would be annoying to them and would make them not want to be down there. And as it is, there's no bathroom on that floor. You'd have to come upstairs to use the bathroom and go up 2 flights of stairs to use a shower. I mean, when you're young, it's fine, but I'm just saying, I don't also want to walk through someone's bedroom to do laundry. And so there's that. Anyways, finally we get a counter offer. It's also verbal, and we accepted it. So we accepted it. Now we then put down a written contract, or written, what'd you call it, a proposal? It's kind of a contract, because if they sign it, then you're under contract. Okay, written contract. We signed it. Crickets. 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 And I'm like, my realtor's like, I haven't heard, but they heard from their realtor there might be another offer. But I was like, they're the ones that came up with this. Oh, this should have gotten decluttered. This was in the laundry at the time. We'll get rid of that. I am going to do my 5-minute declutter after this. So, finally I text her and I go, okay, I just have to admit, I'm confused. This was their counter offer and I said yes. Why are they not signing? And she's like, well, nothing's for sure until they sign. So if they get an offer that is better, obviously they have the right to take it. So, and then we also found out that the seller was traveling. So finally, yesterday on our way home from church, after we had lunch, I get the text that it has been signed. So we are under contract. So the prayer request to all of you praying people is our home inspection on, so contingent, so I had to be under contract here in Maine to look at houses in Vermont, but when I got a buyer here, he doesn't need to do inspections or appraisal until I'm under contract there, because he's not going to waste money on an inspection, if I end up not finding a house. And I got to be honest with you guys, I was so discouraged when we weren't hearing back from the seller. I started looking at what it would cost to get an Airbnb for a month, because a lot of you had said, could you rent? We'd have to rent a house. I had looked, it's expensive. I don't want to be in a lease, because then it's all about timing that I didn't want to deal with, not to mention expensive. So then I started yesterday looking at Airbnbs that you could, I'm saying this in case anyone else is ever in this situation. With an Airbnb, if you put down like a whole month, they were less expensive that way. There were many that would be willing to rent to you for the full month, and it was cheaper than if you were renting daily. So I was even thinking about that. So there's still some logistics that I have to talk to my husband about. Now it just feels like it's all happening so fast. Oh, the prayer request. So the building inspection on this house is this Friday, which would be, look at the date, because I have no idea, because if you watch this later, you might be like, oh, she's already had it. August 22nd. So pray. Pray that there's no renegotiation. Pray that the radon test comes back, that it's fine, healthy, there's no radon issues. Because we have a cement basement, they do test for radon. That wasn't something that was done when we moved here. But, you know, we're still kicking it alive, and I'm assuming it'll be fine. But if you would just pray about that, that's just not something I want to deal with. I feel like we've already made concessions with this house to sell it, but I need to kind of prepare my husband. I haven't even had a chance to talk to him about it yet. So now, you guys, you're going to be excited because soon here, in the next couple of videos, you'll see me doing some heavier than 5-minute decluttering. I still want to do the 5-minute declutters because that will be like decluttering in the main house. But I might also have some big declutters because now I know that we will not have to do snow removal. I'll keep one shovel for like the porch, the deck. We won't have to do trash. We will still do mowing, but it's just a small little strip of grass. I can't show you the condo today. I might be able to show you some little clips. I gotta get them ready from when my daughter-in-law looked at it. Yeah, so now we can start packing. You know, even then it's like, how much can I really pack? And looking at, are we doing pods? You know, what are we doing to get down there? And looking at that. So get ready for all of the moving content. It feels like it's going too slow in some ways when it comes to YouTube wise, because you want to be able to put out all those videos, because I'm doing this in real time. I'm not really waiting and announcing, you know, how people do. And then they show you the whole process. No, we are just, what I do is I film, edit, post, film, edit, post. I don't film. Yeah, right at this point. So we shall see, you guys. I'm excited. So, okay, I'm gonna get this stuff put away. I've got Yvonne's laundry here, and then I'm gonna put anything that goes downstairs on the top of this. I'm so tired. I have not been sleeping great. Oh my goodness. It's more like just trying to think about each, even though they're adults, as the mother, thinking about each person, wanting each one to be happy and excited, and you know, they all have their own stresses about moving and change and adjustments and new jobs, and you know, when do I give my notice and all the things. It's been crazy around here. My daughter that has a car, her car died, and it looks like it's not fixable. So that's kind of a thing too. There's been a lot going on. So, but exciting times ahead.
Honestly, I was inspired to talk about rest because I didn't sleep, because I haven't been sleeping. It's not necessarily getting better. And I'm just having to kind of give myself little motivational talks. And so I thought I would encourage you and include you in the talks that I give to myself, right? Because my realtor said there's no emergencies in real estate. And I always have to remember that. If there's just no emergencies, there's precious little emergencies, true emergencies in life. This is definitely not one of them. I can stop. I can take my time. I can take time to rest. Things are going to get done. I don't have to say, if it is to be, it's up to me. And you can take the time to rest too.
All right. When I had 2 other pieces of furniture here in the bedroom that were just storage for like crafts. I can't sit down. And all the things, okay? And now I have this. Instead of having 2 See, and now I'm realizing I have those in my storage unit. I wonder how much stuff is actually going to come to Vermont with us. Okay, so here is some diamond painting. Not getting rid of that. Here is a spare calendar, 2025. I'm sure I was using it. You know, sometimes the cool people, they have 2 planners. I don't need 2 planners, so we're gonna declutter this. There's a declutter. So this is where I keep all of my business stuff, headphones I need to keep, and I'm not going back. Plus, the condo is so much smaller than this house. A pen, I will put that with pens downstairs because I think I have pens up here. Okay, this I'm gonna set aside. I need to talk to you about this. I'm gonna set aside. So yeah, moving to a smaller space. This is like receipts, business receipts, need that. Oh, and I have a calendar that tells you like the holiday of the day. I always give these, my members, we do a live Monday through Friday. I always tell them what is the holiday of the day. Like on July 4th was Alice in Wonderland Day. But I write to-do lists on the back because they're all lined on the back. And sometimes they are notes for YouTube. Or like this was like damp red outlet cover. It was stuff that I thought there was a video I was gonna do of like things we did not do to sell our house. I'm gonna still do that. But since we have our building inspection on Friday, I thought I would wait and see how that goes. Because I don't feel like I've sold my house till I am sure there's not going to be any renegotiations. Okay, so, but these are all old notes. That's what happens. Be the best you can be with your current energy, the best while aging. Oh, that's good advice, Karen. Decluttering challenge, that was when I first thought of it. So I can throw all of these little papers away. So this is what I've been using for to-do lists, and I really should be just using, I should be using my planner. I'm about to say, yes, that's true. But also, I've been trying to do notes on my phone because when I do that, then they're also on my laptop. That also helps when I'm deciding what I want to talk about in a video. Then I can have it on my phone when I'm doing the voiceover on my laptop. Yeah. Hello. Yes, I'm doing my 5-minute declutter. Huh?
What happened to the ham and the black olives?
The black olives we used on the last pasta salad.
You used 2 cans?
Yep. I know, I'm going to buy more today because I wanted to make pasta salad. Is that what you're about to do, is make pasta salad?
I was.
Well, I could run to Limerick.
You don't need to do it at the moment.
All right.
Finish your work.
Don't forget you're going to do your books.
Yes.
We are going to have to talk about books because we're moving smaller here.
Yeah.
Oof, sadness. All the things we have to decide on. I don't want to tell him to get rid of his books. And I certainly don't want him to get rid of books he's going to use. This is cards that my friends gave me because I'm moving. Oh, it's so sad. There's things that are sad about this. Okay, another thing that's sad about moving, so these are just papers that I'll show you the pile, but they're all to-do lists. And I'm just making sure there's nothing in here that was like some revolutionary idea. Oh, coupons. For Similac. Oh, this one coupon I've been looking for. I'm going to use this today. It's a $30 off coupon and it expires. When does it expire? 8/22. Yes, I'm going to use this today. Okay. What was I saying? Oh goodness, now I forgot. Oh, I know. Okay, this is kind of sad. One of the things that just caught me is these. So I'm separating the ones off that I didn't use. I love these for to-do lists. The back of these little calendar pieces. One thing that is hard is my parents are buried in the town. I'm going to try not to cry because my dad. Of course, my camera shut off. As I say, my dad's birthday is August 16th. So I just had my dad's birthday. Okay. But the thought I have struggled with a little bit is my parents are buried an hour from me. Not that I go to the gravesite, because I don't. But I feel like I'm leaving them, which I know is silly. And I know they wouldn't feel that way. And I know that certainly my mother, I never had the conversation with my dad, but my mom said they talked about everything, and she wasn't one to go to the graveside extra. You know, maybe we went once or twice before she moved to Florida. But, so I know that that's not something that they would ever put on me. So I know it's okay. I just think it's just a thought I hadn't thought about before. My grandparents are buried here. My parents are buried here. Maybe it's a metaphor of leaving my history behind because I have lived here for 60 years. Okay, so all of these papers, this is being decluttered. So I'm gonna throw out the planner too because I did write in it. And then my camera shut off again. I switched the battery, hopefully that's what it was. Okay, so this is a shield. I keep sitting in a different spot too every time I sit down. I think this is for my phone. Mine is cracked, so I need to have my husband actually help me with that. Post-it notes, which once in a blue moon I get into again. Oh yeah, that's the address of the first condo I looked at. What a journey, you guys. So these are some greeting cards. I will keep push pins. A letter from my son I am going to keep forever and ever, amen. Because once in a while I look at it and cry because it's a thank you letter. These are some, like, the things that, you know, when you clip labels, it has a clip. So you can put a pantry label on and clip it. I have mixed feelings about these, but I'm going to keep them for now. There's some more in here too. So that pretty much covers it. These little tabs, I actually want to pull out because I feel like when my husband does his book declutter, he might be able to put, oh, that's what I was going to do with the Post-it notes too. That he might use Post-it notes to like mark which ones he wants to get rid of. Then I have like a couple more pens in here that can come out. I want to get all my pens together. That might be a 5-minute declutter, is deciding how many pens a person needs. This goes with my old tripod, but I am keeping my old tripod because sometimes I might be filming on my phone and my camera at the same time, which I don't necessarily recommend. So let me show you. I never even set a timer, but let's assume this was 5 minutes because it certainly feels like 5 minutes. So these are coupons that will go in my pocketbook. All right. This is what I wanted to ask you about, and then my little 5-minute declutter is done. This is for doing the envelope system. It has the various envelopes. I've never used it. I want to use it. I don't know if I will ever use it. So do I keep it or do I declutter it? And then if I ever start using one, I buy one. Again, brand new. I don't usually, I like to have cash, but I don't, obviously I'm not going to pay for gas in cash. Water, electric. I could put pieces of paper with numbers in it. This would be a slower phase of life where I could think about things like budgets. I don't know, you guys. So you vote. Keep the envelope system or get rid of it. So I'll keep it for now. This I'm keeping, even though I have mixed feelings about it. This was recommended and people love it. To use for like your phone. Oh, that's what this is for. This goes on here. Maybe I should see if my daughter wants it. Yeah, that's what that is. So I'll keep this tripod for now. Because you never know. You never know. Isn't that why we keep things we shouldn't keep? So I do have a little garbage bag to put the papers in. And then I'm going to show you what I'm keeping. My little support kitty for decluttering is right here. Take breaks, guys. 5-minute declutter. Even if one person in the comments was saying they like find one thing to declutter every day. I think that's amazing. At the end of the year, 365 things you've gotten out of your house. Please, that's awesome. Which reminds me, I'm helping my friend again on Thursday. Ooh, that's exciting. Okay, I gotta keep track of my life. All right, so here we are. This is the thing I was saying for the envelope system. Is that blurry or is it me? Here's another pen, take that out. I'm gonna put all the pens together. I need this. I don't know what it's called. Once in a while we use these things, so I gotta keep those. This, you know, this could end up getting decluttered in the next round, but where I'm moving and I don't know how I'm gonna be organizing things, I wanna keep it. This is the white chalk pen. This I can put with the other pens. Okay. And then this is my receipts, diamond painting, tripod, letter from my son, for my phone, wired headphones for my laptop, a couple other cards I want to keep. These I'm going to relocate to my desk, and then these are push pins. Sometimes I prefer to use push pins on a wall instead of like nails, or definitely not command strips. No command strips are going on the new condo. So I prefer to hang things with a push pin. So I'm keeping those for sure. Got them on Amazon. And then this is my daughter's art. So these are some greeting cards that she made that I love. She's so talented. So that and that. And then the pens, I have some pens at my desk, so those are going to go downstairs where pens go. Relocation. And this here, and these I want to keep. And honestly, other than like my laptop and the stuff that I use every day, like, you know, there's some stuff still goes in there. I do put my hard drive in there, and I do put this, I use this every time I upload videos. So it's out right now because I've been working. But these go in there too. I'm loving these 5-minute declutters. I think I'll do them the rest of my life because it is a way to maintain once you get things decluttered. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to like get back in the basement now that I know where we're gonna live. Even like the kids' toys, grandkid toys. I need to think through those. Yeah. I mean, because they have so many toys, and maybe my daughter-in-law might want to relocate some of the toys at my house that they could play with that would be better quality than what I have, but we'll see. I don't know. Either way, I don't care. So, okay, let's do some relaxing because we just did a declutter and we folded laundry. That's amazing. I hope this encouraged you. Remember, as always, God loves you and I love you too, and I can't wait to see you next time.